Hey guys, what's up? If you're new to the channel, I'm Morgan, and today we're going to talk about applying to college.
Touch.
So junior year is definitely a good time to start looking at colleges, start figuring out what you want, like every school I looked at has my major of interest. What makes a college is the quality of living whenever I'm there. Like, what does it feel like? So I know some schools host college fairs. My school didn't host college fairs, but each week we had a different representative from different schools who we sent kids off to, and they came back to the school and they talked about their colleges and different things like that. The summer leading into your senior year is a good time to start going on college visits, so you can start to look at campuses and see what they're like, how they feel, and ask students questions. Because I don't think I would go to a college that I have not visited, because there's a lot of things that go into it. Like, I personally want to go to a college that's in an urban area near a bigger city and different things like that. There's just certain things that you want to figure out about college campus before you actually go there. How long does it take to fill out the college application? Now, the college application, I think you should start out by filling out the Common App, thecommonapp.org. Now, most schools are covered under the Common App, so if you fill out the Common App, you can really just add most of your colleges to that list and apply straight from the Common App, which makes it very easy, really nice. You won't have to fill out, 6, 7, 8 different college applications. That being said, for me personally, I think you should apply to around 6 to 10 colleges depending on how you want to do it. 6 to 8 colleges. You have your reach schools, your target schools, and you have your safety schools. The Common App, asks you a whole bunch of questions about yourself, about your family, about your interests and things like that. It's basically an application about yourself. You want to try and sell yourself to the college. The essay afterwards. So the way the Common App does it is it gives you a whole bunch of topics and you choose one and you write about it. Personally, I feel like the best way to do this is to write a story about something, about a moment in time, something that gives good description of who you are and your best qualities. And then after you're done writing the essay and it's done, you should pick one of the topics that the Common App has and see which ones are most similar to the essay that you've written. I think that's how to best write your college application. You may think of a time that would be perfect, but you don't think it fits under a category. Well, just write the essay first, and then pick a topic that it goes under, and I think that's the best way to do that. Now, whenever you're applying to colleges and adding them to your list, you have, target schools, reach schools, and safety schools. I think you should apply to 2 safety schools, 2 target schools, and 2 reach schools. Any other schools that you might want to apply to. If I have a 3.5 GPA, a reach school is going to be a school that you need like a 3.8, 3.9, 4.0 to get into. So it's a little harder to get into, and from my credentials, it doesn't look like I will. Target school would be a school that wants the credentials of around where you're at. I have a 3.5, they want about a 3.5 to get in. Now, a safety school is where the credentials for the school to get in are lower than what you have. So I have a 3.5, they might only need a 2.9 or a 3.1 to get in. Your grades are not the only thing that matters. Your test scores and your GPA are not the only thing that matters. Okay, of course they're gonna look at that first to see if you have a chance of getting in. But if your credentials don't meet the requirements of the school, there's still other things that they look at. They really look at what you do outside of school, community service, things that you're passionate about, and of course your essay that determine whether you get it or not. And if you're in sports like football, basketball, etc., they look at your highlight film, and the coaches can if the coach really wants you, that will also help you get into the school based on how much the team wants you, based on how good of an athlete you are and your grades. One thing that test scores do help with your ACT and SAT is if you apply to a school via the ACT or SAT and your score is really good, like you have like a 26 or something, and they need somewhere from around like a 21 to 24 to get in, then you can get more scholarship money for having a higher test score. So I've taken my ACT 3 times and my SAT twice. Now, based on which one you think you're stronger at or which one you're better at, you can decide on which one you want to take more in order to get into college. As you see, I chose my ACT, but one thing that can and will help you out during your senior year is if you get your college essay done the summer before your senior year or in your junior year. I go to a college preparatory school, so I took a class with my school that was only open to upcoming seniors. We were able to start and finish our college application and start and finish our essay before school even started. The common application opens up, I think, August 1st, somewhere around that time. So we were able to get into it and we did it, finished it, and we didn't have to worry about it for the rest of the year. If we wanted to apply to a college, then we could just look, and if it was on the Common App, we could just add it in, send it off right away. Or if it wasn't on the Common App, which there was only one school that I applied to that wasn't on the Common App, and they didn't really require a full application like the Common App. So for me personally, it wasn't that bad. Teacher recommendation letters and different things like that, I would definitely recommend asking teachers your junior year to write those for you as well, because it can take up to 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month for them to write it, and because they do have lots of things that they're doing, and they can't just focus solely on writing your letter and have it done in an hour. It takes time. So I would definitely get the college essay and the recommendation letter out of the way during your junior year, and you won't have to worry about those at all in your senior year. So whenever there are application deadlines, you don't have to go up and ask your teacher and say, hey, I need a recommendation letter, and they only have a week to write it. Like, that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna get it done in time. Look at colleges that have a good price and major that you want. If a college doesn't have your major, or you don't know what you want to go to a college that has a variety of different majors that can range from anything you think you might want to do to things you don't want to do. For some colleges, you don't have to pick your major until after your sophomore year, so you still have time to think about it or switch into a different major after getting into a college. I know for me, price is a big thing, so tried getting my ACT score up as much as I could. That was my preferred choice over the ACT. And I tried getting that up as well as with football and, FAFSA. FAFSA is, financial aid of based on what your family makes. So definitely get those in on time, because FAFSA does have a deadline, kind of like your application does, except the deadline for your FAFSA is generally a little after you turn in your application. Some schools require the CSS if you go into like a Division III school. A CSS is just the same thing as FAFSA, it just requires a little more information. Most college application deadlines are January 1st. Around the Christmas time is whenever you'll see a lot of people start to struggle. Keep an eye on other colleges, because some colleges vary, some are earlier, some are later, but generally it's January 1st. Then you have different types of enrollment. First is rolling. Rolling means they'll take your application whenever you apply, and then they'll just get back to you, a little bit after that. Then you have early decision. Early decision means that if you get accepted into this college, that is your choice to go to. Generally, if you apply early decision, you don't apply to many other schools, but you will apply to other schools in case you don't get into this college. It's like a binding agreement saying you're going to this college no matter what. Then you have early action. Early action is kind of like regular decision, except early action, I don't know a whole bunch about early action, but pretty much the early action deadline is sooner. It's in like first semester. For some colleges, it's around January. And you'll get your stuff like a month before everybody else. So like, if you apply to early action and you're ready at the beginning of your senior year because you got everything done in your junior year with your application, you'll get it back within the first semester of your senior year, and you'll know if you're accepted or not. Or sometimes with early action, they'll say, we'll push you back to regular decision and you'll get a second chance on being accepted into that school. Then you have regular decision, which is, what most kids apply to. You apply regular decision whenever you want, and then you get your, acceptance or denial or wait list, February, March, April, sometime in that area. And then you'll have the decision of what college you want to go to, and I'll have a separate video on that later on in the semester, because I'm currently in the process of getting my college acceptances and the different colleges who want to accept me or decline me. Currently, I've been accepted into 3 colleges. I have not had a single denial yet or a wait list. I applied early action to one school and they pushed me back to regular decision. So I guess that's my second chance that I was talking about. But I hope you found this video helpful in any way. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I will be making a separate video for athletes that in some cases make the process a little bit different in how you do things. But, that's all for this topic, how to apply into college. Before I go though, I did want to show you this. We won state in the class 4A here in Oklahoma, and we got our state rings. Our banquet was the other week. It says Dynasty 4A in Oklahoma, and then it has our record 54-2. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them, and I'll see y'all next time. And remember, just keep smiling. Peace.